What's up, you guys? We
What's up?
have
Buenos dias.
we've been buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
We've been chatting for like 30 minutes before.
Yeah, we're done.
So hey,
Hold on.
Good to see you.
We covered it all. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Well,
we did.
the flip notes.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we just wanted to get on here. We have the great honor and privilege of knowing and loving the Zaccarias, and just getting to know you guys more, especially over the Puerto Rico retreat. And so yeah, we just wanted to get on here, chat about y'all's story, maybe even get into some of your story, and yeah, just have a good time. So
Awesome.
excited.
Love it.
Amazing. Do you have anything you wanna? Can we tell them what we were telling them beforehand?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're gonna tell you what we like about you guys. Okay.
Hot seat a little bit.
We are, yeah. You wanna go first?
How did you pose the question? You said.
I said, what is your favorite thing about the Zaccherias?
That's right. It was my favorite thing. Which, I mean, she came right out of the gates with that one. You know, just us two recording ourselves before this call. And I said, it was like, wow, that's really hard to answer. And I thought, oh, I know exactly what it is. It's that you guys are so talented and able and humble and attractive, and people want to be around you. They notice you. There is an effervescence, a magnetism about you guys. You're just good at what you do, good at what you touch, and yet the humility and like what you guys are going through now, selling your home, moving to a new place in Tennessee. You guys have the ability, the self-awareness, the consciousness to see who you guys are and all the things that you could be, the stepping into more power, stepping into your dreams. Actually, we always talk, Pete and I and the guys, actualizing potential. You're not afraid to go there. So you're today, these people accomplished, you've already done all these things, and yet there's just it's like you're barely scratching the surface. There's so much more, which inspires people like us and other people in men's work, and I'm sure neighbors, family, and I'm sure it triggers people too, for that matter. But that humility that you guys have, that there is more, and that you listen to friends, you're so present with people when you're talking one-on-one in person. That's what we got to experience in Puerto Rico. That was so cool to witness and feel from you guys. And it's obviously the walls come down immediately with y'all. It's just like it feels like I have known you, Pete, for years, and same with Gabbi, because we got to spend time with Gabbi one-on-one.
When you guys kicked him out, you got to spend time with me.
Exactly.
That's right.
And it was like, I mean, and of course, there's a lot going on at the retreats as the families are running around and we're checking out Puerto Rico. But just to feel y'all, as we say, feel your transmission and get to feel your energy. There's a humility, and that's what really stuck out to me. And it's your hearts. It really is who you are.
That's so good.
You guys are gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thank you for that.
That's the goal. No,
That's allowed. That's allowed on this call.
No, yeah. But I said that was beautiful.
Thank you.
I agree with all of it. I think you guys are both really hilarious. I think you're hilarious separate, but together you're even funnier somehow. And I just love your guys' witty banter back and forth, and you know how to tell a story, you know how to both of you, and you do it in different ways, but you know how to tell a story, you know how to keep a conversation alive, you know how to just make everyone around you feel good and laugh, and I love that. And then I feel like you guys are both so dynamic, and you're so dynamic together. So I feel like what you've created already in your relationship is beautiful. And with this next step, and we'll get into this, but with you guys selling your beautiful, rare, one-of-a-kind dream situation, and choosing something that is even more for you. Yeah, I don't know. I think y'all are just dynamic. You're amazing. You're fun. I love being around you. I don't know when we're gonna go on the next vacation, but
let's get that scheduled soon.
Soon. Yep.
Back to Puerto Rico.
Maybe Sedona.
Sedona. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I would say.
You guys are literally gonna make me.
That was very nice.
Cry.
You're just the best. You guys are the best.
That's true.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have anything you want to say before I get into question?
No, I would just say that there's a reason why the Zaccarias are here. There's a reason why not only that you're on this call, but that you're in this place in life. And it's very visible. I think a lot of people are getting to witness you guys in this, whether it's within the collective, obviously your friends and family, maybe some head scratchers, of like, wow, what are they up to? Like why? Like
Lots of head scratchers.
totally. And there's a beauty to that, right? That's for a reason. But in that, um, it's like a precipice. We talk about the big leap all the time, and y'all are here for a reason. All of this has been preparation. It's been happening for you for a distinct reason, a distinct moment. And in life, there's Kairos and Chronos. Kairos being just these moments in life that they're just like outside space and time, and then there's Chronos. So you're at the Chronos piece of literally selling your house, what you've done, and you're breathing and decompressing from that. And yet this Kairos moment of Pete answering the call, doing men's work, Gabbi getting to witness that and seeing Pete's growth. So I just think it's worth calling those things out, that none of this is by accident. None of this is to show anything or to gloat or to boast. It's that y'all are chosen. Y'all are answering the call for a certain reason. It's this king and queen dynamic, and I feel that energy from you guys. And it's really fun to witness for us too. So I'm glad to be on this call. This is like a blessing.
Sheesh.
I know, literally, you guys are gonna like make me so.
Yes. No, it's good.
Okay, so I'm gonna get into the first question. Pete, and you guys can both answer, but so you obviously came to the collective. We've talked about this. I don't know if this is like something that people talk about, but you were already a man before you came to the collective. You didn't like become a man like in the collective, right? No. No, but you were like you came as a man,
Yes.
and
Correct.
you became more of who you are as a man. But yeah, like what was life like for you before stepping into this work? And then as a man, husband, leader, was there a moment that you knew like you had to change something? Or like what was that like journey like for you in the beginning?
Yeah. Thanks for the question. I think what really did it for me, so like she's obviously got a whole story she could tell you about her journey and her health story and all of that. But I want to just say that because of the work that she had done for a long time, she was always like so far ahead of me. And it's not that I wasn't aware of it. Like I think I was aware of it. And it was more like I always kind of just followed her lead because it always led us to really good places, even if I was in complete denial over it. And I guess I just feel like, kind of like we were talking about off air, it was like sitting here, having our home, feeling very established, like having my career, my job, working from home, having a beautiful home, my routine of playing golf on the weekends, like all these things. Like it's just kind of like, all right, like I think I've settled into life, and there's like this comfort where you're like, all right, I've reached, I'm 40 years old and I've reached kind of maybe some of my goals aside from maybe not working anymore. I was just like this very comfortable place to be, but it had me like really questioning, like, is this it? Is this like, what am I chasing anymore after this? I could very easily be comfortable and coast for the rest of my life here. I see that, like I'm looking at that path and I see it, and it doesn't look bad at all. But at the same time, it's just you have like this burning desire in you. And I think what really started like flipping it for me was like thinking about being a father. And obviously our story, but we've been trying for quite some time to start a family. And I think just like the thought of me being a father and like how I would want to father my children, like am I currently the man that like I want to be the example for my children for? And I think that really got me like doing some deep questioning about myself and whether or not like I was the man that I wanted to be. And then it went even further than that, where it was like, am I really the husband that I want to be also? Like, I guess and that it probably should have been the reverse, to be honest with you. It should have been, am I the husband that I want to be? And then am I the father that I want to be, considering we don't have children yet? But
Yeah, but we had been trying for a while,
Oh, we
so I
had,
think
yeah.
that is what was like top of mind for you.
Right.
Right.
And it was just I don't know. I really just started questioning a lot of things for myself, but like I don't even think I really brought it to Gabbi at all. It was more just this whole internalization
I had no idea
of it. It was like this, like Colin, like we've talked about in the collective, right? It's like I had this curiosity, but I didn't know what to do with it. I I would see some things on Instagram or come across different things, and it just nothing ever really resonated with me or landed with me, and until the collective. Really.
I think nothing ever prompted you. Things resonated a little bit, but you were like, I don't know where to
That's a good
take
way,
that.
yeah.
It was that nothing prompted you to take action. You were just like, yes, there's resonance, but I don't know where to go with that. And then it was like when I sent the collective, you took action.
Yeah.
That is what made you like go.
Yeah. And I guess like, because like I don't want this to come off as like with an arrogance or anything like that, but I feel like if I consider like my closest circle of friends throughout the years, I always felt like I was a little bit different in the crowd from them. Like not saying good or bad or better or worse. I always just felt a little bit different. Things that maybe they were interested in, like my initial gut would kind of be like, I'm not so sure. And I'm not even saying I didn't go along with those things, but there was always something where I just felt like, I don't know. It wasn't like a full commitment to certain things that I would be getting involved in a lot, which I've come to learn through, human design and all these things is like the worst thing that I could be doing, because it ends up, I'm compromising constantly on things and hiding and really just not being who I authentically am at the end of the day. And I just think like, it's like I had like the pieces like all starting to kind of be there and floating around in this space, but just didn't know how to put them together or what to do or what type of action to take, like Gabbi said. And then, boom, I get into the collective and the free challenge. And it's just like, okay, like I'm feeling a vibe here. Like there was an energy there right off the bat. Even before the free challenge, just like listening to y'all talk about, certain topics on the podcast that you just don't hear about, very, very much so. And even within relationships and kind of the role of the man and the woman. And like, there were a lot of things there where I'm like, yes. And she's like, yes, like this is
been trying to say
even more so.
Yeah.
And that was really it. Like that was all I needed. And she could tell you more than anybody. Like once something does land for me and I'm like, that's my direction.
90 miles
it's
an
like,
hour.
I'm all in on it, and I'm not going to compensate through any of it. I am going to take it very seriously. And again, doesn't mean that I won't pivot and do different things along the way, but like the initial entrance into something that I'm committing to, like you have all of me type of thing. So, I don't know. Hopefully that answered the initial question. I feel like I kind of covered a lot there, but that's kind of how my journey, I guess.
I love it. That's so good. And then Gabbi, from your eyes, like what shifts have you seen in Pete? And then like just how he shows up. Hang on one second. And scene. Just
This would be sideways.
Oh yeah, it should be like this way.
Like,
I did a gator jump.
We all did that.
Yeah, we all follow
Yeah,
your.
this way.
We all follow.
Yeah. All right, everybody do your best gator jump.
moving to Florida.
Not sure what we're saying there. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna jump back in here. We had my nugget had to get some stuff. Okay, Gabbi, from your perspective, what shifts have you seen in Pete? And then just like in how he shows up, how he leads, how he loves, etc.
Oh boy. That's a loaded question. No, I feel like he's finally come into himself. Whereas like before, not that it was performative for whoever, but I feel like there was a lot of people pleasing that was like ingrained in you. So now that he's able to kind of drop that off, he can fully show up instead of being like, well, what does this person need for me? What does this person need for me? And in the same respect, kind of show up more what I actually need from him. Because before it was like, kind of I would take a back seat because it's easier for you to take a back seat and like please everybody else. Whereas now it's kind of like his priorities have really shifted. And for me, that's just enabled us to like grow so much closer and deepen our relationship, because now it's like we are the priority for each other instead of fighting to be the priority for him. Where do I fit in his life? Like, where's the priority of things? It's like you can feel that, no, you are the priority. And I can kind of put my own sword and shield down. Like, I don't have to fight battles. I don't have to always be on guard and be taking care of everything, because I can be like, can you please just, that's not my fight. And I never wanted to fight it. So, like, take the place of like the warrior, show up and do what we need to do. So I just feel like overall, it's almost like he's just more of himself. And in that, just like so much of a bigger person, because I always knew there's so much in him, like as a leader, as like a charismatic person, there's just so much in him. And so all of that, I don't think got to be fully out there, because when he's trying to fit in with this friend group, or, you know, please his parents and be the dutiful person at work, and it's like you kind of like chip off pieces of yourself to like mold into what this person needs, mold into what this person needs. And it's not that I want him to mold into what I need. I just need him to fully be himself, but fully be present for me. So don't be someone else, be you, but just fully be there. And I think that's probably the most like powerful piece of it, where it's just like not screw everybody's expectations, but no, I'm going to show up for myself. And in doing that, he's probably exceeding everybody's expectations, but maybe also making some people upset. But that just means like he's going to have his own boundaries and he's going to be his own person. So it's just him, I don't know, more fully showing up as who you are. I don't even know if that answered the question. I kind of went off on a tangent.
No, it was beautiful. And
but
yeah, like what I hear in that is like Pete is Pete, and Pete gets to set the standards of how Pete is and who Pete shows up as.
yes.
And people can either love it or leave it, and everyone loves it.
I was going to say, and nobody leaves it. Everybody loves it.
Unless they're not supposed to be in your life. And that's so beautiful.
Correct.
You know?
That's right.
And it's like,
and that's where he's no longer like dulling himself a little bit to like make the masses happy. It's like, if you upset some people, well, that's okay, because, and I think this is something that he and I both, I think has been very freeing to learn, that like we aren't going to be everybody's cup of tea. And like as you get older, it's like I can't worry if everyone's going to like, you know, it's like when you're younger, you're like, I just want everybody to like me. I don't want to make anybody mad. And because I was also a people pleaser. And so, but in doing so, it's almost like self-sacrificial to make everybody else happy. That means you are altering yourself and who you are, and you're not showing up who you need to be. Like you're almost like going against yourself. Yeah. You're going against yourself by not showing up fully as who you are. So I feel like both of us, I don't know, it's been a big deal to be able to fully be ourselves, be okay with making other people upset, and just not in a bad way, not maliciously or anything, but just by truly being ourselves. If it makes someone else upset, well, that's unfortunate, but I'm not going to alter myself to make other people happy or make them comfortable. So I don't know.
So good. Yeah, it's like unapologetically being yourself. Like showing up as who you are. And yeah, it's so good. I very much resonate with that, Gabby, with Colin. And I feel like you've had like different iterations of this. And I'm sure we all do, right? Like we all continue to grow and change and move. I feel like I resonate with that. Just in the, I feel like once you were able to shift and show up and be a man and all the things, right? Like I felt like I was able to then get clarity on what I needed to do even more. You know, I was holding so much before, and now that you desire me and love me and honestly like anticipate my needs and do things that I didn't even think that I needed. It's like, oh my gosh, now I can shift into things that I need to shift into and soften in the things that I need to soften into, and take action in the things that I need to take action in, because I no longer have to. And it's funny, it's like it's all so unspoken, but it's like I felt like I needed to carry things more when
Yes.
you weren't carrying as many things. And now that you're, again, it's funny, it's just like energetically showing up as you. It just shifts everything. I feel like men showing up fully in themselves is a huge game changer, and it's obviously something that the world needs as a collective, no pun intended. Like, we need that. We need men to show up unapologetically themselves, and then women, we can show up as the same. And I don't know which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Obviously, I feel like a lot of times us women are
Usually step first a little first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Step forward first a little bit sometimes, but it shows up individually. And we even have conversation kind of this morning about this, and you can see dynamics at play in family members and all sorts of stuff. And it's, it's like when the base need of a human, especially a woman, is to be safe. Like, do you know that your man is like present with you? Do you feel safety there? It's like, do you feel loved and adored? When those things are those are like basic needs for a woman. And when a man steps in and does that, he's fully himself, she's fully herself, so she's going to catapult. And then with her catapulting, then he'll catapult. And it's just this thing that you start to like rocket forward, and it's the constant evolution forward. It's like when those base needs aren't met, I feel that it's like I was carrying the masculine role and the feminine role, but no, I wasn't, because that was smushed under the masculine role. So it was like the weight of everything that I had to carry, because it's not even like, I'm not shit talking him. It wasn't even his fault, because like he was not taught. He was actually taught, like his legs were taken out from under him. He wasn't taught to carry because people wanted him to stay dependent on other people. Like your mom kind of wanted you to be dependent on her. So he never was taught to step in and be the man and be present. It was like, no, stay this little boy so that you're always dependent on me. So then when we're in relationship together and it's like, I need him to show up and he's not, then here I am. I'm also masculine. And now I have to carry and control and do all the things, because he's just back here like, it's cool. I'm just going to chill and just not, I'll just be over here. But that dynamic completely shifting, I truly cannot articulate the change that it has on a relationship, because it's like, it's life altering.
Yeah.
It sounds a little dramatic, but it really is.
Yeah. It like seeps into everything. It's like
everything. Yep.
That's so good. Okay. Heat. What was it that hold on, I'm gonna read this. What was it in you that finally helped you move through that like stuckness, or like not even stuckness, but like going from where you started from before the path, and then like basically your evolution of like breaking through basically, and toward the more like you that you knew was possible? Can you help me with that question? What did I actually mean by that?
Yeah, was there anything that finally shifted, maybe one instance, a moment, a season, a catalyst that maybe you finally, it was like a moment of also realization of like, wow, I have changed, or I'm seeing things like I'd never seen them before, anything like that, whether it's specific or general.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like my whole journey in the path, there were so many milestones with it. I mean, first and foremost, I think just like taking responsibility for things, whether things that I was addicted to or that I would kind of distract myself with, and just like having an open and honest conversation with her first and foremost, I think was like the biggest thing. And that was something that I think I did within the first week of joining the path, because like I said, if I'm ready to go with something and I have a clear vision and something lands for me in terms of like what I need to do with it and what action I need to take, I've never really been scared to take the action. And I just feel like that was like long overdue, certain conversations of having with her. that again, it was just like, I feel like once that happened, and again, I'm by no means saying like that was easy, or even, you know, her emotional response to it and working through that, and giving her space, and like for the first time, probably, maybe not the first time, but maybe, like just allowing her the space to feel whatever it is she was feeling without me trying to control anything or try to fix it or try to downplay any of it or whatever it was. It was just like, I'm putting this on the table. Like, these are things I want to be clear with you on and share with you. Feel what you feel, and let's talk about it when you're ready, if you're ready, whatever that looks and feels like. I was just open to all of that. And I feel like honestly, that was like very early on, like that was the biggest moment for me. And it was almost like everything from there was just this, like, it was almost like I just pushed the boulder over the hill a little bit.
Like snowball.
And then it was kind of like, I'm very much like, okay, what's next? You know, what's next? Where am I going to pivot? You know, manifesting generator. It's like, what do I need to tackle next? Okay, I'll establish some boundaries with my parents here, because that was also something long overdue. And then, you know, you kind of get in like the middle of all of it, and it's like, all right, you know, maybe take a step back a little bit. There's not always like something to beat down or some wall to knock over or whatever. Like, just like, and I feel like I finally then started embracing, like, giving myself my own space in a way. You know, not feeling like I needed to, like, she could tell you, I mean, for 14 years of our relationship up until this point, like, I could never sit still. Like, if, like, me sitting with my own thoughts or giving myself any time to even allow that to happen was just like not an option. I would find something to do, whether it was just like go randomly clean the garage, to go hit golf balls for 3 hours, to just like watch YouTube videos of golf for hours until whatever. And it was anything and everything to just kind of numb and take myself away from like even discovering like what it was that I was feeling, or what I was, who like Pete was. I just feel like I did everything in my power
to not be
present.
He was not present. And that's like, I feel like everything was an escape. But again, not your fault. It's like, that's a taught. It's a taught thing. So it was just like, he constantly had to be going. He could never just chill the heck out and just sit and be with anything. Like you were, so it just felt like he was never present, because it was always going, doing, it's just chill. And it wasn't, I always thought like, oh, maybe it's just because he has so much energy, and he's like very energetic, but it wasn't that. It was trying to escape something.
Total escape.
It was constant escape of something.
And then honestly, I feel like there was a big stretch where it was just a lot of integration, and it was a lot of just like, okay, this is like a new version of myself that I was starting to get comfortable with. And like on one end, I'm like, all right, I feel like I'm not doing a whole lot, but it's ironically, I feel like that was maybe when the most growth happened in a way, because I was just finally embodying like who I actually was. And it's not like there's no box to check on something that you're accomplishing, but at the same time, you're accomplishing so much. It's like this weird, kind of, your mind plays tricks on you a little bit. And then, I mean, honestly, the retreat in Puerto Rico, I just think, I mean, it sounds like it's like an advertisement, but like, I think for me, and what I was trying to articulate, like you've put my video out on just kind of like the one-on-ones that we had. And I feel like what I was really trying to articulate there is that I've always felt the need that like, whatever it is I'm doing, like I need to justify that to somebody else. Like it's like, not like my intent there is to try to help, but I feel like it doesn't always come across that way. It almost feels like, well, I did it this way, so you must do it that way, type of thing. And I feel like the one thing about the virtual space is you always kind of feel like you're here by yourself, and then you're with somebody, like you're looking at somebody else on a screen, or you're looking at a group of guys on the screen. And there's just a different dynamic there than when you're all in person together. And there were so many moments in Puerto Rico that I just felt like whatever it was, whoever the man was that was going, like processing something or talking through something, like part of me in a way, like, felt like I always wanted to be the person to like say something in response. And I realized like that was a really amazing experience for me to understand that I don't always have to be that guy. Like in a group setting with other men, it just always seemed like there was the right man in the right spot to like lend a hand or lend support to somebody who needed it at that point in time. And that didn't always have to be me. Like I've always felt like by leading, I wanted to like I was a leadoff hitter in baseball. I like all these things in my life that just I always wanted to go first and I wanted to do this. And that was even my journey in the path. Like it was kind of like I went so fast and I just dove right in. And some of the other guys, you know, were kind of like taking my lead to a certain degree. And that's nothing against them in a negative way at all. Like we all go through our own process. I'm also much older than a lot of these guys too. So there's a whole different experience.
We're the elders of the group.
Yeah. But I feel like I'm totally rambling here, but it's just like Puerto Rico was such a great perspective for me to just be around a tribe of men that I could be a leader, but that didn't mean that I was the one who was always saying something or always doing something. And that was like a huge perspective for me, because I think when you have that mindset where you always feel like you need to be the one to do something, it's like a huge energy leak. And I think I was doing that for my whole life in a way where I was always trying to please other people or always trying to be the person who would step up and do something. And that's just, there's not, you don't always have to be that. That's not necessarily being a leader in my opinion. So,
well, from what I've heard you guys say, like one of the biggest pieces here has been your embodiment. It has been you coming home to yourself and you being Pete. And what I'm hearing from that is you get to lead, just showing up and having presence and being there. And like men will feel you. And like, obviously, you know, if they need something or have questions, obviously you're there, but it's like, that's so cool. Like, and to me, that's like so manly and like masculine and beautiful and like handsome. Just kidding. But it is, it's like, that is, that's that like warrior or king or whatever you want to call it, who has the ability, has the skills, has the, you know, all of the things, and yet sits back and waits for the time, right? You know, it's like, I mean,
it's like he has the impact just by being himself when he fully is himself, rather than a forced or like a task oriented or a forced thing. And that's where in the beginning of the path, it was great because there were certain tasks that needed to be done. You did need to initiate that conversation. But then it did feel a little bit like, well, I'm just checking off because these are the things I should be doing. And it was when he was like able to actually, like when we'd be able to sit in and like talk about things and like process through things and embody the things, that it was like, that's where stuff would land. And I think that's when he just ends up being so much more impactful. And it's actually in his like design where he leads just by being himself. So it's like him able to do this, step up and just be Pete, is the most impactful thing he can do, rather than like a forced, like, I should be. It's the shoulds of the generator manifest. I should be doing this. I should. No, just be. Just be. And that's actually where the impact is, instead of the task, the action.
And you know, Colin, you've heard this too, like Matt Roberts, right? Like he says I told Gabbi this, like every opportunity he gets, he says how like I inspired him by the conversation that I had with Gabbi early on for him to do the same thing with his wife. And that was what changed his whole relationship. Like and when I think about that, when he reminds me of that, I'm like, well, that's a great example, because I didn't do that for Matt. I didn't do that for these other guys. I did that for her. Like I did that for me, you know, that was for us. That was something I felt like I needed to, again, be present, be embodied, and just like come clean. And then I have impact on a brother of mine in that way, where then it changed his whole life and his whole relationship. And it's just like, wow, I did, like, that was not my, I wasn't even remotely thinking about that, you know, in terms of like, he would follow my lead or whatever. Like he would just realize when his time was to do something like that. So it's when you hear things like that where you're like, okay, like I get it now, in terms of, like she said, the forced, you know, or like it would have felt so weird for me to just like talk to Matt on the side or something like that and be like, oh man, you got to do this. Like if you do this, it's going to change everything for you. You know, like that would have been so awful to do something like that. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's amazing. Do you have any thoughts, Seaskin?
Well, it's a beautiful reflection, Pete. And I mean, many things unpack there. And, you know, one, you talked about your inertia at the beginning and the boulder pushing. And I think we see that. I know you see it amongst the men that we attract and the men that are in the collective, maybe that are new to the brotherhood. You know, I think it's for everybody, men and women, but especially men. There's a little bit of fence riding, a little bit of like, I know what I want, but I think fear comes up. I think there's a little bit of a, you know, fear of initiation because we don't get initiated anymore. You know, fear of the unknown. What's going to happen? You know, you don't know unless you dive in, right? Which you did. You went all in, and that's who you are. So I think that piece is crucial for any man, you know, even listening, or maybe it's a wife, a spouse, or a partner. That I think that's very normal, and it's very honest. I think a lot of men in certain seasons will feel that way. I think typically the more inertia you feel, I think the stronger you have to jump in because it's happening for a reason. You know, like that tug, we always get that tug. I love to call it like divine inspiration. And it's like I tell my guys, it's like, you know, you got about 15 minutes, give or take, to act on that. You know, whether it's something creative or an invitation, or something that's really sparked your life force energy. There's something to that, and just you being willing to be yourself, you know, less doing and just more being, because the doing is, as Briana said, it's going to come out of that. You have to think about that part, right? Like almost like the how, and focusing on the how. It's that the curiosity that you already had, and be able to just sit with yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, and ultimately cultivating your being, because that being is your becoming, you know, and you really allow that becoming to happen more out of Pete being Pete. And that's what the world needs. You know, the
Yeah.
world, your wife, of course, but the men around you, we as men, and then in the greater collective, the world needs Pete, you know, fully alive in his body, right? Leading like you do by example, you know, and you mentioned too about, you know, it's like rare is a man that has the right thing to say, but even rarer are the men that can be felt, their presence in a room.
Yes.
And a lot of men actually don't allow themselves to be felt because they're so quick to speak. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily a bad thing. There's just a difference. And I think we all have that piece, that season, maybe the wisdom drops in of knowing when to, you know, to hold back. And it's not even a passive thing. It's actually very active, you know, in a group setting. Can even be Zoom calls. You know, Pete, we're in these all the time, right? And yet we can feel the energies in the room, so to speak, right? Of who's on there. I have instances where I almost will feel it, scroll down. Oh, man, this guy's emanating right now, right? We've been there.
Yeah.
And that's powerful, I think, in the work we do, in this work too, of this digital space. We know the sauce is being together, the one-to-one time in person, the retreats, you know, whatever that looks like. And this is beautiful too. So you just hit so many places of how you've grown, embodied, and obviously like Gabby's seeing that, feeling that, living that, experiencing that. It's y'all's family has changed. I mean, we all see it. So thank you for bringing us all in on it.
Yeah.
So good.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Okay, so for the future, what are you excited about? What, like all this transformation for you guys? What has changed as far as like how you see the future? Obviously, you guys are going through a huge transition right now. You can touch on that if you'd like. But yeah, what are you guys excited about?
Who starts?
You want me to start?
You let me know.
Tag me.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
like I ought to be a cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
No, yeah, I mean, we're excited about a lot. Not to go into too many details, but yeah, we're 48 hours removed from selling what I would say about a year ago we were considering our dream home, and you know, a backyard that we would be buried in, type of thing. And we've done a lot of exploration, I would say, in the last 7-8 months. And I think at the end of the day, like, what if I could sum up what we're most excited about? I think it's just being open to life, really, and not not closing ourselves off into what we've either been conditioned to believe is success, or what other people think is success, or what other people think is good or bad. And, you know, take all of that out of it and really just kind of follow what we're aligned with and what we value, and what we're drawn to. And I think it's interesting because both of us, I think, historically have been, battery running low.
Go get your plug.
All right, you pick it up and I'll go get it.
Oh, I'm just going to pick up. Okay.
I was going to say that we have been planners. So.
Oh, okay. Yes. Historically, planners. Always have a plan, always know what we're going to do. But a little backstory on me. If I get a God wink, I've done a lot of crazy things, selling things, moving things, didn't have jobs, just knew we needed to go places. And, you know, the house that we were just in literally was a dream home. I don't even think I could have envisioned with the view and the house. It was just perfect. But, you know, once he came online, it just felt like we outgrew, like we hit a ceiling there. And what was once total dream. Sorry, I feel like he was almost knocked you over.
What were you saying, Gabby? I'm so sorry.
Oh yeah, you're.
I don't know. Probably something about leaving here and feeling like we finally reached a ceiling. So we knew it was time to go. And that's, if he didn't do the work he did, I don't think that feeling would have come. I think it would have just, you know, we would have been still coasting through. But once he came online, again, it frees me up. And then that then frees him up more. And it's just this thing. And it felt like stifling here all of a sudden, which is crazy. Because as he said, literally, I would be like, you're going to bury me in the backyard, spread me in the marsh. I'll look at the intracoastal for the rest of the heavens. It's fine. And like he said, sold it. Literally all of our belongings. I was just giving things away left and right. It felt like time to clear the deck and take a new adventure in what we're assuming is going to be Tennessee. And the reason I'm saying we're assuming is because I've now learned to not say things, because I said, I'm never leaving that house. Well, you know, just got the email that the loan's paid off. So it's not ours anymore. So I'm excited for just living life. Like, I was sick for a very long portion of my adult life. And so for me to feel healthy, vital, vibrant, kind of ready to go, and have him online, vital, vibrant, ready to go, to just experience whatever it is that's going to come our way. I think that's the thing. Like, we're not planners, or we're planners, but we're not planning this. It's like, we know God was like, sell the house, sold the house. We think we know where we're going, but we don't know how that whole thing's going to unfold. So it's almost like, I don't even know what to say I'm excited about, is except for like life happening, for us to be fully alive and just do whatever. I mean, God willing, I'm hoping babies, but that's, you know, that's also above my pay grade. So I'm just kind of like,
I love it.
Amen.
I'm just excited for whatever. I mean, there's so much stuff between homeopathy, Axe, Tennessee, interior design. Like, there's so much. The possibilities are endless. And I think that's where it's like, I don't even know what to say. Cause at this point, for the first time in my life, I just feel like there's so many possibilities that I've been proven time and time again, God always knows better than us. And so it's like, I don't want to say like, this is what's, you know, this is where we're going. I don't know, but I'm excited to find out.
That's good.
I also just have, I like, me personally too, like, I also just have like this like openness to like learning new things kind of in this lifestyle change, right? I mean, we're going to be going from a gated HOA community,
country club,
surrounded by a golf course, to raw land as part of, you know, obviously a bigger ranch, off grid and all these things. And I feel like you can like choose one of two things. Like you could choose to be overwhelmed by a lot of it and kind of like, what are you doing? Or you can choose to just be accepting of the fact that you don't know a lot of these things. But you can go into it almost with like no preconceived notions
Beginner's
either, and just
mind.
being open to learning, and who knows where that's going to take you also, and what's going to interest you and what I could potentially get involved in. And I think that's really exciting for me because you know, I have a corporate job. I'm keeping my corporate job. I'm very thankful that I could keep my corporate job to allow a lot of this to happen from a financial perspective, and I can work remotely and do these things. But at the same time, like I'm interested to like see what else there is in life as well, and not just be, you know, the corporate guy who plays golf on the weekends type of thing. Like, so there's a lot there, I think. And again, I started out by saying just being open to life, but like being open to life and being okay with like not knowing a lot of these things, not feeling like I need to step foot on a ranch and act like I know anything about taking care of animals or building or doing anything. But it would be really cool for me to just like go into that like a kid almost.
It's
and
the beginner's mindset.
Yeah, the
It's
beginner's
like
mindset.
super healthy, being like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think even that, the growth through all this, to be like, I don't know. What is X, Y, and I don't know. I'll let you know once I find out, but I don't know. And
Right.
that's where this experience, these people, they do know. So it's like we're not alone in this, because I don't think I would not want to do this alone. I'm looking forward to community. I really am desiring community. I mean, God, you guys know when we were in Puerto Rico, I'm like, don't leave me. It was just incredible. So it's the community and people there who know what they're doing, and it's relying on each other, and it's just having that sovereignty again, having more of like self-sustainability, and you know, kind of reconnecting to land, and really just like getting back into, you know, still having modern conveniences. I like modern conveniences, but getting that humanness back, land, connection to the things that actually matter and that fire us and keep us working.
So good.
Love it. Wow, fires me up.
Last question. What would you say to the man or woman who's quietly wondering if there's more?
I mean, there's so much more. I don't even know what it is, but there's so much more.
The answer is yes.
The answer is there's more. I will, you know, thank you, Mitchell, saying he retired too early.
Yeah.
Because literally, there's more. It was like, there's the standard thing. And somebody just said this to us yesterday where it was like, oh, you know, I'm actually kind of envious of you guys, you know, going and just trying this thing. Because he said, you know, we are taught, go to high school, you go to college, you work your job and you retire, which we also, that was what we were taught. Thank the heavens that I got sick, and as sick as I did, because I was so sick that I had to exit out of life as I knew it. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd probably be partner at the accounting firm, and we'd both be, oh my God, I cannot even fathom who that person would be. Yeah. But thankfully, I got booted out of that timeline and was like, it's not even a possibility. And so now we are on this thing of, oh no, there's another way to do life. You don't have to just do this like drudgery. This is how everybody does things. There's like infinite possibilities, which means there's infinitely more. What more? I don't know. I can't tell you because the possibilities are endless, and it's not my job to say those things. But I just know from our experience, you doing this work, me doing my work, it just shows like, no, there's so much. It's truly never ending. If that's the path you want to take, it's never ending. There's always something new to explore, discover, adventure in.
Yeah.
So good.
I think I always come back to this too. I just feel like what resonates for me, and this is based on my own experience, so folks listening can take it or leave it, but it's like, if you have a curiosity about something, like number one, follow it. But like from my experience, it's don't get so hung up in like what the whole path looks like, what the whole journey looks like. I feel like when you're curious about something, usually there's like a pretty obvious next step. And I feel like that's all you need to focus on at that moment is just focus on the next step, because you never know then what the second step is going to be. It could be completely different from how you're imagining it. And I just feel like if you go too far in planning or thinking, it's a very easy way, at least for myself, to get overwhelmed and then never start. So I just think number one, if you have a curiosity and you think, even you have that little smidge of you saying like, I think there's more, just be open to whatever signs you're receiving in your life or whatever's coming into your field that is like indicating what could be something that I could take a step toward in order to find something more out. And just let it just take that and just keep building on that and keep stacking on that. That would be my biggest piece of advice.
So good. You guys are the best.
You're the best.
It's so fun to like hear just like where you guys are headed and like just like more of who you are. And even as you guys are just inspiring, just talking about this one thing, and you have 80 billion other things in your life that you could be inspiring us with. It's so great. So thank you
For your time.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Absolutely,
Of course,
guys. Thank y'all so much. This is going to impact a lot of people.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Anything else, these kids?
No, I feel very, very complete. I just love being in these two's midst, your midst, sleeping toddlers' midst, and it is a blessing. So
amazing.
And that nap time for all of us.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for sharing your story. Thanks for being raw and vulnerable and just willing to inspire other people with who you are.
Yeah, so. and I do want to say, anyone listening, if any of this really resonated and you just want to hear more, we are willing to speak to you guys. I would imagine Pete is willing to speak, and maybe even Gabbi for a woman. Like, we are here for you guys always. So if there's any questions, anything that come up that resonate, like, please reach out. This is literally why we did this, was for you. So
yeah, amazing.
Absolutely.
You guys are onboarding for Path 3 right now?
We are onboarding Path 3, starts in August. We have some guys that are already starting kind of the pre-work, so to speak, right now. So there are a few spots left. It's quite limited, and it's, we say it's like all men please come, but it really isn't for everybody, because these are for the men that feel called, that's their time, and that's a lot of men, but like we said, inertia in life has its way. So if this is tugging, this really, it could be that divine inspiration. That's why we're here to answer questions. And golly, I mean, so we were just saying this before the call. It's already, past mid-July. It's July 23rd, I think, today at the time of this recording. So that's 7 or 8 more days of seeing who's ready to answer the call. So excited to see if that's you, or if anybody that if you're listening to this. And we're really excited for what's to come. You'll meet Pete in November in Sedona. We'll be there.
Yes.
It's the next retreat, and I'm telling you, the retreats are where it's at. There's really no words to describe. We have exploratory calls, and I always want to interject with just trust me, man. The retreats are awesome, and it just sounds like you're excited, but it's true. There's no words to describe what happens at these retreats, and Sedona is going to be unreal. And I've gotten to see kind of behind the scenes of the retreat already, so I'm really excited. But it's going to be cool. So we'd love to meet you.
Amazing. Amazing. Love
awesome.
You.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you. Talk to you soon.
Yes.
Love you.